Welcome to Content That Sells So You Don't Have to, offer messaging masterclass to help you create marketing and sales assets with your social media content. You can take a pic as you follow along this training and tag me in your stories at offercopylab.co so that we can chat about your questions and takeaways. So my intention for you today is for you to walk away knowing, number one, the type of content killing your capacity to convert. Number two, the 3 key reframes to 10x your content productivity and conversion rate. And 3, how to get piping hot leads to buy from you right now. I want you to begin to shift your perspective from creating content to grow your brand and following on social media to creating content that positively impacts your bottom line. So let's take this as an affirmation before we go any further, right? I create content to attract leads and close sales. That's what I want you to say to yourself. Take a moment to let that settle with you because it's going to be very incredibly important as we move forward. Right. So let's talk about your subconscious and why it's important for this topic. We as human beings have essentially 2 amazing systems in our minds that come into play when we have to make decisions. Every opportunity or interaction we experience on a daily basis is first evaluated by the subconscious mind. That's the first system. The subconscious mind is primarily involved with keeping us safe and makes decisions based on how likely an opportunity or an interaction or a decision is to keep us in a place of safety. The conscious mind, however, which is that second system, is where we make decisions based on that evaluation. It's where we take actions and we modify our behavior based on the evaluation of the subconscious. Fun fact, about 95% of the decisions that we make on a daily basis are controlled by the subconscious. Some studies say it goes up to about 98%, but all this means is that up to between 95 and 98% of the decisions that we're making on a daily basis, we're not even thinking about. Now, what happens a lot of times is we as business owners and online marketers, we create sales or promotional content for our offers that satisfies or caters to the conscious mind and that completely ignores the subconscious mind. This ends up being the content that we come across and we feel is salesy, and the content that tries to convince us of all of the reasons why we should purchase whatever it is that is come across our feed. The problem is that the subconscious doesn't respond to convincing and throws up a host of objections to that type of content to keep us safe from making a purchase. Buying decisions are made in the subconscious mind, and the subconscious deals with feelings and emotions. If you've ever heard the marketing wisdom, I'm going to call it, that says that people don't buy with logic, people buy with emotions. This is where that comes from. Your target audience is not making purchase decisions based on what they think or based on what is logical. They're making buying decisions based on what they feel. And the conscious mind then fills in the gap with logic and reasoning that supports that feeling. The flip side is that when your subconscious sees a piece of content that is in line with both what it is that you want and what your subconscious believes is safe, it sits all the way up and it goes, hey, this is for us, right? It speaks to what you're experiencing or desiring. And so you automatically stop scrolling and consume that piece of content. Why? Because you feel seen, heard, or understood. The same is true for your ideal client. Your dream client doesn't want to be convinced. They want to give informed consent. Creating content that sells so you don't have to is all about creating informed consent. right? Making sales in your business through social media depends on your ability to talk about your offer in the way that your ideal client cares about and address the subconscious triggers that throw up barriers and objections to prevent them from moving from the place their subconscious deems as safe. It depends on your ability to make your buying audience feel safe, informed, and in control. Social media content that sells affirms what your ideal buyers know, validates their experience, and uncovers the core problem they face. In short, content that sells gives content that informs consent. This is the reason why selling has been difficult for you. It's not because you're bad at sales. It's not because you're selling the wrong thing. And it's not because your prices are too high or that you need to provide more value in your content, whatever that means. It's because you have this amazing body of knowledge about your ideal client and no one has shown you how to leverage it effectively for sales. It's because your ideal clients and customers want to hear a specific message from you in a specific way, and no one's taught you how to deliver it. But that's exactly what we'll be doing in this masterclass. First, we're going to look at what's been killing your capacity to sell your offers with your content. And then we'll look at the 3 core shifts to 10x your offer sales without posting 50 times a day. And then I'll give you 3 steps you can start taking today to begin seeing results in your content. So grab a notebook and a pen or a pencil and get ready to take a ton of notes. By the way, hi, hello, my name is Jermaine. If you're new to me and you came through an ad or we just haven't hung out in a minute, let me reintroduce myself and to some and introduce myself to others. I'm a former content developer helping entrepreneurs and online service providers with content and funding, turn offer content coach at Offer Copy Lab. I've helped my clients to profit, crowdfund, or secure more than $20 million. My main focus when working with their content was to position their offer as the only solution to their buying audience. I have always loved strategy and learning about how the brain works. And because of that, I'm passionate about helping entrepreneurs to win the battle of their minds and create marketing content that sells so they don't have to. If you're here in the room, then you are a service provider, a coach, or an educator selling a proven offer. You have a sales page or an application page set up for it already, and the link to that page is super visible on your social media, your website, or wherever else you're showing up online. I want to help you know that you don't need to churn out a billion pieces of copy or use a bunch of different tactics to make money with your social media account. All you need is clear, concise messaging around your offer. Are you ready? Good. All right. So what is killing your sales capacity? Just about anyone can throw up an Instagram account and start making money online, selling coaching and educational courses, sessions, or digital products. As I'm sure you've seen with every new influencer or quote unquote coach who shows up and automatically starts making sales, right? But obviously some people do it better than others. Those who do it well have an unfair advantage that is twofold. What I've found in creating sales content for the past 10 years is that when the focus is on the coach, the entrepreneur, or the business or the organization, sales tends to be a battle of wills that ultimately devolves into a pool of desperation where whoever is most desperate gives in first. When the focus is on the buyer or the investor and what they need to hear and believe in order to purchase or invest, sales becomes a pleasant ride down a lazy river of mutual understanding and respect that ends at a surprise pool party with little cupcakes and mimosas where everyone has a great time. The people who know how to sell on social media, they know what to focus on and they know how to get good at the right thing. They know what to focus on, which is focusing on the client, focusing on the buyer, the end user. And the right thing to focus on, or getting good at the right thing, is getting good at really clear offer messaging. When you create content with your offer messaging that is focused on you well, sorry, when you create content that is focused on you or your business, you are promoting your reputation, which ultimately serves to make it clear to anyone who views your content that you know what you're talking about, which is important, but not what your audience is actually looking for. Content that is focused on the buyer easily positions their needs and wants as something you can serve. It easily positions you as the kind of person who can answer their questions and help them to get the results they truly want to get. This kind of content promotes results, which is really the only thing your ideal clients care about. If you've ever heard the marketing adage, WIIFM, I think it's a Brian Tracy thing that he says, that the only radio station that your clients listen to is WIIFM. WIIFM stands for what's in it for me. Once you have that, you keep that at the forefront of your mind, creating content that answers that question becomes really easy. But we're going to get more into that as we go on. The online entrepreneurs who know how to make the buyer feel seen, heard, and understood will always make more sales and do it with ease. So how do you create this kind of content, right? There are 3 key reframes that you want to apply to your business to 10x your content quality, production, and conversion rate. Just one of these reframes took one of my clients from being rejected for private funding to receiving double the amount she applied for the very next week when she reapplied. See if you can guess which one. The first is you want to reframe your positioning, right? This has to do with who you are, the problem you solve, and how you solve it. The number one reason most online entrepreneurs struggle to book high-paying clients or sell their digital products has nothing to do with money mindset and everything to do with their ability to demonstrate their ability to guarantee results. Lots of coaches will hedge away from the word guarantee, but if you aren't confident in your ability to achieve results with or for your client, then they won't feel confident in trusting you to do so. They're not going to invest in something that they don't feel confident in. And this is true for clients, investors, crowdfunding partners. This is true across the board when it comes to sales. If the person giving up the money, for lack of a better term, is not confident that you are going to do what you say you're going to do with it and or give them a return on what they're investing, on what they're paying, they're not going to feel confident in giving that to you. The first time I booked a $15,000 client, I did so with no website, no sales page, no testimonials, and on a phone call where I lost connection halfway through. She got back on the call voluntarily. She called me back, not because I was the cheapest option, because I absolutely was not, but because I was confident in the results that I would be able to achieve for her. And I was clear about what I was not able to do and why. The number one reason coaches and online entrepreneurs and service providers struggle to book the clients and make the sales they want and that they truly desire to is because they're not good at framing the offer in terms their clients care about. And that's all your clients are looking to hear. The easiest way to do that is to drill down to a specific outcome that you provide that they want to buy. When you do that, selling your coaching becomes a breeze because all you're doing is showing your potential clients how you can help them achieve the outcome they desire and that they can trust you because you position yourself as a specialist in that outcome. And everyone knows specialists get paid more, right? Think about in medicine, a general physician versus a cardiologist. While a general physician may arguably work more, they don't get paid more than a cardiologist because a cardiologist specializes. And even when you think about that, you have specializations in that specialized area of cardiology, right? You have pediatric cardiology, and I would bet they get paid more than just general cardiologists. Specificity is the name of the game. The more specific you are with who you help and what you help them achieve, the easier it is for people to choose you. It's so much easier to drill down and define the outcomes you help your clients achieve when you're only dealing with a few key variables. Most online service providers struggle with the idea of niching down because they believe that there won't be enough people in that niche to buy from them if they feel like it's going to be too narrow. Not only is this not true, but by getting specific about the person you serve, the problem you solve, the process you use to solve that problem, and the outcomes you can produce, you make it easier for more people to realize that you are the one that they need to work with. When you say that you have one specific person, you're saying that you understand where they are coming from, and where they would like to go. You're saying that you know how to get them there, and you have an experience, or you have experience doing just that. The more you work with that one specific person, the more you will learn about them and what they value, making it easier to sell to them and work with them in the future. When you solve one specific problem for that one specific person, you get to go 10,000 fathoms deep, right? Getting so much better at solving that one problem than just about anybody else in the field. You end up building a body of knowledge that sets you heads and tails above your competitors. And that's your unfair advantage. You're also able to define an elevated, streamlined client experience and eliminate inefficiencies on the journey to their desired outcome because you are so good at solving that one problem, which means you get to charge more. Going deep on one problem takes you from a, a regular service provider or coach to a consultant because the value you bring to each client is so much more than they could ever hope to get elsewhere. When you're clear on the one specific promise you are making to your ideal clients, it is much easier to know how to focus your marketing efforts or create your offers. Too many offers are little more than X amount of sessions with X assorted resources over X amount of time at X amount of dollars, right? The problem with that type of offer is that it doesn't make a promise and it doesn't make your ideal client want to rip up their wallet and smack you in the forehead with it, shouting, "Take my money now, what is wrong with you?" The promise you make to your ideal client has to be in line with the outcome they desire, or there will be absolutely no synergy for sales. Which is why it's so crucial to have top tier specificity in your business, right? When you get good at helping one specific person solve one specific problem with one specific process so they can achieve one specific promise, your problem quickly becomes there's too many people who want to work with me right now. And honestly, that's a beautiful problem to have. But why does this work, right? This works because the value, quote unquote, that your ideal client is concerned about, that all of the coaches and gurus are telling you to add or to provide in your content, is about clarity. It's not about education. They want to understand that what they're dealing with, or what they're dealing with rather, and why. They don't want to learn all about all the different ways that they can solve it. Freebie seekers love that type of content, but somebody who is willing to invest in having their problems solved crave the clarity that comes from knowing where they are, how they got there, and how far they have to go to get to the desired future that they hold for themselves. The person who can give them that level of clarity becomes the one they trust to lead them over the mountains, across the rope bridge, and through the swamp until they are out of the jungle. So your next reframe. You want to reframe your ideal client. Who they are, what they want, their current reality, their desired future, their beliefs, and what it is that they know now and what it is that they've already seen, done, tried, and learned, right? So who they are means understanding them as an individual, right down to what they're thinking when they encounter your content. And yes, that is absolutely possible. Getting clear on what they want will help you to shift your content from educational and entertaining to addicting, I can't look away, reach and revenue generators. Understanding their desired future, their beliefs, and their existing body of knowledge essentially allows you to sit in their head and look out at the world through their eyes. This automatically enables you to exponentially increase your ability to come up with ideas for social media that will sell through the serve. This level of clarity turns your social media content into engaging, bingeable assets like Netflix that grabs and holds your ideal client's attention long enough that they go through the whole buyer's journey on your feed and become primed to buy. I call this fly trap content because it's super sticky, like a fly trap, and it holds your ideal client essentially captive until they're ready to buy from you. With this approach, you can maximize the effectiveness of your content and generate leads and sales. This is how you are able to magnetize your content to attract leads instead of unengaged followers. Lastly, you want to reframe your offer, right? You want to shift the way you think about and present the process you use, the outcomes your ideal clients desire, the results they can look forward to, and the transformation they will undergo on the journey to that desired future. I call this PORT, my PORT method. Number one, you want to talk about your process, right? You want to talk about the unique process that you use because it sets you apart and instills confidence in your ideal buyer, in your expertise, right? When number two, you talk about what they can expect on the journey. The clearer the picture you can paint of what your client's journey will be, the easier you make it for them to decide that your offer is the right one for them. And then you want to talk about how you're going to ensure that they're going to succeed. Remember previously when I talked about having to guarantee results? As a coach or service provider, you are the guide for your ideal client. And so because of that, you have to consider how the journey will look to the ideal client and speak to their unique questions, concerns, or even fears that they may have in your messaging, in your social media content. This shows that you're not only familiar with the journey on a general level, but you are also familiar with their internal world as well, which elevates your expert status. Now, if you've been in the online space for any amount of time, you likely have a lot of this information somewhere, maybe several somewheres, probably in your Google Docs, or maybe it's in your notes on your phone, maybe it's in your email, right? You probably have bits and pieces of this information scattered around your digital platforms. And it's now a matter of collecting all of these bits and pieces of juicy sales right content into a central hub that you can use to easily create content that sells your offer in much less time and with much better results. So how do you create that content? There are essentially 3 steps. First, you want to relate your positioning to their reality. This is where you make who you are, the problem you solve, and how you solve it relevant to what is top of mind for them right now. Then you want to reflect, right? This has to do with reflecting their current reality and the story of their day-to-day life back to them so that they have an understanding, not only that you are the expert who has a clear picture of what it is that they're going through, but you also are the one who can guide them to their desired future, right? And then third, you want to reassure them, right? This type of content aims to secure the belief that you can offer, that your offer, can produce exactly what you say it can. This type of content frames the process that you take them through, the transformation that you facilitate for them, the outcomes that you promise, and the results that you have gotten for other clients so that future buyers have all the information that they need to make informed decisions. When you are able to pull all these levers, you create content that sells for you without additional effort on your part. That is what makes content that sells an asset for your business. Leads for your offers will easily be able to self-select and volunteer themselves to work with you without awkward sales calls or icky DM inbox messages that feel like you're essentially begging someone to work with you. Now, I know that this is a lot to take in, and I don't want to overwhelm you. But hopefully you can see how thinking about your social media content in this way empowers your ideal client to buy and work with you from a place of certainty, because you are creating from the point of view of what they need to see, hear, and understand to make the decision. The work and study that I've done over the last few years, the last 10 years really, have taught me that people engage more and buy more when they don't feel pressured, when they feel like the opt-in is their choice, when they feel like they've partnered with their coach or consultant on their journey. The best way to sell your services is by creating content that enables informed consent. When your ideal client can step into the sales conversation with informed consent, they are more likely, excited even, to convert. Now, I know that this is a big shift from what you're used to hearing, right? All the other experts say to give value, provide value, and then give a call to action, and you'll sell, sell, sell. And frankly, I don't think that works. And I used to be one of those people who talked about providing value, but the way that I talked about it was very different from what I saw everybody else talking about. The way that I've gotten my clients results over the years is by selling through the serve, basically creating content that gave their audiences what it is that they needed to hear, know, see, and understand, so that they could make the decisions themselves to work with my clients. What I want you to focus on now is deep clarity, obtaining deep clarity on your positioning, your ideal buyer, and your offer. Doing this fathoms deep level work will help take your sales from inconsistent to a steady stream of recurring revenue for your business. You just have to do the work of researching and compiling offer sales messaging tailored to social media. And honestly, the fact that you've already been making sales and you have closed clients so far is proof that you are so capable of making this work. You can absolutely take the skills that you already have at closing deals and 10x it by building a deeper body of knowledge on the person you are selling to and creating content that talks about what they care about. You already have everything you need to create content that sells your offer on autopilot. Now it's time to put it to work. So your homework for today is to begin to pull all those juicy nuggets of clarity together in a Google Doc. I call this a messaging vault. This is going to become your best friend when it comes to creating client, right? It's going to be an absolute smorgasbord of content pieces that you can use to craft social media posts that do the work of selling your offers for you. Now, if you're like, but Trey, I want to start creating content that sells my offers on social media without me having to babysit my DMs or post 15 times a day now, one, I don't blame you. And two, I would love to invite you to join the beta cohort of Sell on Social, my collaborative copywriting program beta, to turn your social media content into a lead and revenue generating asset you can deploy at will. Sell on Social is the key to writing captions, stories, video scripts, and more that drive sales to your offers without having to fill in clunky templates or create content that just doesn't sound like you. In module 1 or week 1, we're going to overhaul your positioning, right? I'll help you complete your messaging vault so you know what your audience wants and you always know what to post. In week 2, we're going to overhaul your offer and your offer messaging to make sure that you are crystal clear on the outcomes that your clients actually care about and want to accomplish. And we're going to strengthen and strategize your offer promise. I'll help you create your profitable stories and write posts that turn followers into paying clients in your unique voice and cadence. In module 3, we begin creating content and selling through the serve, right? You'll get all my secret formulas for saying what needs to be said and how to tell your ideal client story back to them in a way that encourages them to make the sale. In week 4, it's all about setting up and strengthening the systems that you're going to need to be consistent with your content and with sales. We'll make sure that you are making it as easy as possible for your ideal clients to invest with you, and that you are in the best possible position to take advantage of all of the traffic that you're going to be creating with the shift in your content. This is going to be very much hands-on because I'll be looking over and workshopping your content with you to ensure that you're getting the absolute most out of our time together. This is for you if you feel like you post content regularly, but you also feel like you're wasting time because your content gets little to no engagement and it doesn't result in much sales. If you've tried the batch creating thing, but you feel like you run out of content at days and you don't know how to find more, and you feel repetitive with the content that you already have, if you spend more time consuming content on social media than creating it, and wondering how all these other creators can make it seem so easy, if you spend hours agonizing over your post captions before giving up or getting distracted, and if you consider branching into video content but don't know what to say, and you don't know or you don't want to be awkward, because that's the worst. If you feel like you know what you need to say, but when you try, nothing comes out, and you don't know what to do or what needs to change, and if you keep looking at others, at what others are doing, and you keep getting discouraged, or you try to replicate what they're doing in their content to mix results, this is absolutely for you. Now, I've spent a pretty penny, like tens of thousands of dollars, and just nearly just as many hours over the years to learn this information, right? I've applied the principles I'm teaching you in this program to help my clients write winning proposals, secure investment funding, fully crowd fund their initiatives, win government grants and accelerator funding, launch programs, and fill student cohorts, all to the tune of more than $20 million. This is why I know that what I share with you in this program is not only going to be beneficial for you for social media, you'll absolutely be better equipped to write all sorts of client-facing and sales content. Now, when I launch this program in 2024, it's going to be on sale for $697, but you can join the better cohort for only $147. Because of the hands-on nature of the training, I can really only take a limited number of students in this particular cohort, 10 to be exact. Once those 10 seats are gone, anyone who wants to experience Sell on Social will have to wait for the for the Q1 launch in 2024. Now, if you want to understand what's supposed to attract paying clients, show up as the expert your audience needs to work with, feel confident in your ability to create content for your business, then Sell on Social is for you. You can snag your spot at the link below this video. This offer is only open until December 30th, 2023. I hope this masterclass has been a help to you. I did my best to get this recorded very quickly and out to you. So thank you to everybody who answered my polls and raised their hands for access to it. You can go ahead and message me on Instagram at offercopylab.co, where we can chat about any of your questions you have about the 3 key reframes or anything else that I would have mentioned here today. And I'd love to hear what was most impactful for you. That's all we have for today. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.